Now on CoastTV News.
Sand driving basics. We have the skills necessary for your trip to one of our coast drive-on beaches.
Plus, Dewey Crane occupied. The reactions from the construction company whose crane is now home to an osprey nest.
The pick of the week is here, tracking wall-to-wall sunshine as we make a run at 80 degrees today.
Is CoastTV News Today.
And we are now in the 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us on Thursday, April 23rd, 2026.
Yeah, you just saw Big Flyers win yesterday. Grace, you asked us to bring in props. I brought a couple things in from the man cave.
The man cave.
For the Flyers.
You don't want to see photos of Matt Pensick's man cave.
Sure you do. It's a fun place to be.
You got a treasure trove of things.
All
Let's see it. Let's see a haul.
Flyers puck.
Good morning.
Got a Flyers puck.
Okay. Oh, check this out. It's got some weight to it.
Yeah.
Where is this from? Is this from like a special game?
I think I got that at the Flyers Wives Carnival, the mystery bag, and you opened it up, and that was one of the items in there.
All right.
And then I got, this is a rally, I believe, Chris, maybe you know this. This is from the, this might be from the Peter Laviolette playoff run era.
What are the stains on it?
Might have been a beverage or two. I don't know.
Well, I love that you brought in some goodies for us to see. Except I don't think anything can compare to what we're about to see with the Chris Mastrobuono.
Are we going to see this, Chris? Are we going to see? Let's just go to Chris.
Yeah.
Chris,
let's see. Drum roll.
What do you got here?
I'm breaking out the heavy artillery today. I wore this into the station. I'll wear it in the meeting this morning so our news director sees it. And we are going to be, we're in this, Matt. We're in it. It's been a while since we've had playoff hockey, and we're feeling it right now. We're going to be feeling some pretty nice temperatures by the afternoon. Cambridge, right now, we're seeing clear skies, 56 degrees. We're holding at 52 in Georgetown, 52 in Bethany Beach. We have clear, calm conditions across the area this morning, and we are in for wall-to-wall sunshine through the day today. A beautiful afternoon as we make a run at 80 degrees for many of our interior locations across the peninsula. A little cooler by the beaches where we'll be generally in the 60s to 70s in our warmer beaches. But you could see plenty of sunshine through the afternoon, winds out of the north with some gusts at times to 15 to 20 miles an hour. We will talk about a more cooler, dreary weekend ahead. Coming up, my full forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour, with summer right around the corner, that means people soon will be able to drive on permitted beaches. But before you take your vehicle on the sand, there are a couple things you need to do and a couple things you need to know.
Exactly, Matt. Keep everyone safe and smart. And to tell us more about it, it's CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber live at the Indian River Life Saving Station. Elisa, this morning, the Delaware Seashore State Park hosting a beach driving safety course.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yes, in just a few hours, state officials are going to be hosting a driving on the beach clinic to ensure that everyone is safe this summer. According to employees, that clinic will teach people important park rules as well as licensing requirements. Participants will then follow staff onto the beach to practice driving on the sand, but attendees must have a valid surf tag and necessary equipment to do so. That event begins this morning at 9 o'clock right here at the Indian River Life Saving Station. Back to you.
Thank you, Lisa. Now, some things to know. Tomorrow, the 24th, Delaware Seashore State Park hosting another thing, this time hands-on surf fishing programs, giving people a chance to learn the basics. According to organizers, that 3-hour session will cover everything from fish identification to proper casting techniques, rods, reels, bait, all that. It's going to be provided. It's taking place at the Indian River Life Saving Station, just as Elisa showed us, and registration will be $25. Organizers say this program is open to people 12 years old and older, but those under 16 must be accompanied with an adult.
On the coast, this construction crane in Dewey Beach, it was supposed to move out for another project, but ospreys, right there, they built a nest on top of it. And the company building Dewey's new town hall is not moving the crane with that nest still on it. The construction company rented another crane that cost them around $15,000. Construction workers are telling us that they call the nest the Osprey Hotel.
To make sure that we leave the birds alone and let them do their thing, and they're kind of building a nest on the crane that we use for building.
Until after the birds migrate away, that's when the crane will be moved.
That might be the only housing and development that people approve of, is the ospreys. Now, maybe you didn't know this, but in Rehoboth Beach, an osprey nest has been directly above the city's fire department for over 5 years. The fire department previously said that large sticks from that nest have actually cracked car windshields. The city is looking to relocate the osprey's nest, but can't right now due to nesting season.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how should builders handle wildlife disruptions on job sites? So let's take a look at the updated results. We're still seeing that same gaps, but an even distribution there, Grace.
That's right, Matt. 43% of voters voting to work around those nests. Now, 36% voting to relocate the animals, followed by 21% of voters saying that they should pause work.
And we do have a comment from Kevin in Milton who says these birds are federally protected. If the equipment was left long enough to nest, then they weren't using it that frequently. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttvnews.com or our mobile app.
Let us know your thoughts on that. And moving on, the Bethany Beach Volunteer Fire Company giving the community a look at its facility. The agency is preparing to host its annual open house. According to organizers, the opportunity will feature Touch a Truck as well as a Delaware State Police helicopter. How often do you see that? It's all taking place on June 6th from noon to 3 p.m.
New this morning, keeping crime in check in Milton. The Police Accountability Committee is set to discuss, and they could vote on a couple of things at their meeting tonight. On their agenda is the presentation for the Crime Watch platform, also committee member training. Again, this is taking place at 5 p.m. at Grace Church on Union Street.
And happening today, Ocean State leaders expected to review a proposal involving parking expectations for a planned condominium development. Developers are seeking approval for tandem parking spaces for 132 spots, which would serve 66 multifamily condo units. Town documents state the applicant also asking to reduce the size of one tandem parking space per unit to 9 by 36 feet. The property is located north of 104th Street and west of Coastal Highway.
The annual Springfest in Ocean City is back to celebrate its 35th anniversary. The event is kicking off today. It lasts until April 26th at the Inland Lot. The free 4-day festival goes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a mix of art, food, and live entertainment. Organizers say the event will feature more than 200 artists and crafters. There's a wide variety of specialty vendors and 4 days of live music across 2 stages.
Chris, both very much looking forward to that game. Now we have an update to a story that we brought you earlier. Virginia Circuit Court judge has now ruled that Tuesday's redistricting referendum is unconstitutional. That ruling came less than 24 hours after we learned that voters approved a new congressional map. The change would likely give Democrats control of 10 of the 11 congressional districts. The judge's ruling now blocks the certification of those results as Democrats argue the referendum is response to gerrymandering in other states. But one Accomack County voter says she hopes this goes all the way to the state's highest court.
I hope it goes to the Supreme Court because a lot of people are saying it's unconstitutional, that the maps were drawn up by independents and it should have stayed that way, and I agree. Actually, I don't like gerrymandering on either side. I just wish there was none at all.
Attorney General Jay Jones says his office will immediately file an appeal. However, time's ticking with the midterms just months away.
And after extending the ceasefire, the White House says there's no timetable on how long the truce will last.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us this as we're seeing a leadership shakeup in the U.S. Navy.
Mounting uncertainty after President Trump said in a new interview he feels no time pressure about the ceasefire with Iran or holding another round of peace talks.
The president has not set a deadline himself. Ultimately, he will dictate the timetable.
While he waits, the president keeping up the blockade on Iranian ports. Central Command says U.S. forces have turned around 31 ships, mostly oil tankers, costing the regime an estimated $435 million a day.
We are completely strangling their economy.
Iran calls the blockade a breach of the ceasefire and says there will be no deal until it ends. The regime releasing video it claims shows Iranian forces, masked and armed, attacking 3 commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz, seizing 2 of them and forcing them into Iranian waters, according to Iranian state media. Now, even as the U.S. Navy is enforcing the blockade, a shakeup in leadership with Navy Secretary John Phelan out. NBC News learning overnight that tensions had been growing between Phelan and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, according to multiple sources familiar with the relationship, who also said the speed and approach Phelan was taking toward shipbuilding appears to be the main reason for the firing. It comes just weeks after Hegseth forced out 3 high-ranking Army leaders, drawing sharp criticism from Democrats.
These guys are flailing, from the top down.
While on Capitol Hill, pressure is mounting for a vote to curb President Trump's war powers unless he gets approval from Congress before a fast-approaching 60-day deadline since the war began. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Turning now to western Sussex County, got some traffic changes to tell you about in Greenwood. They take effect next week. According to DelDOT, there will be intermittent lane closure on Market Street. This is so crews with Delmarva Central Railroad can complete maintenance at the railroad crossing. Officials say that closure will take place at 7 a.m. on Monday, April 27th. It's expected to be completed by 5 p.m. on Friday, May 1st.
And the Delaware Emergency Management Agency is alerting the community of noise expected today. The agency says it will conduct siren tests near the Port Penn area. The checks will confirm operations at the Salem Hope Creek nuclear generating stations, and it's all taking place at 11 a.m. DEMA also would like people to know this is just maintenance. And we're just getting started here on this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Yeah, come on, Grace, this one has our attention.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee on demand. We got the new feature coming to a Starbucks near you.
Can't wait to use that. Also, pause on speed bump proposal. Why leaders in Worcester County say the plans may not go through.
But first, a lesson-taking route. See how Rehoboth Beach students are celebrating Arbor Day and making their community a little greener. Coast TV News Today continues after the break. Students in Rehoboth Beach are learning that even small voices can make a big impact, especially when it comes to protecting the environment. In today's Coastal Connections, Elisa Weber shows us how an Arbor Day event brought together students and city officials.
4th and 5th grade students from Rehoboth Elementary School came together to celebrate Arbor Day. Through songs and smiles, students shared why trees matter and all the ways they help us every day.
So we've been practicing in our classrooms the tree song, and they get excited over it. They love singing the songs.
Fifth grade teacher Tina Wright, who organized the event, says teaching kids to respect trees and nature can make a real difference.
We build a lot down here, so we lose a lot of trees, and trees are a really important part of our life. So that's what I want them to understand the importance of.
At Stokely Park in Rehoboth, students joined Mayor Stan Mills to read a proclamation to protect trees and keep planting more in the nation's summer capital.
So I want the students to feel like they're a part of everything and that they have a voice.
Grade level winners of the Delaware Forest Service's Arbor Day poster contest were also announced. This year's theme was Trees Are Terrific for People and Places. Rehoboth Beach made the perfect backdrop for the celebration. The city is marking its 35th year as a Tree City USA, an honor that highlights its commitment to planting and protecting trees.
We planted trees on the other side of our school last year, so we're trying to always spruce it up and keep the trees alive. So all of the smaller trees around here are from our Arbor Days. So that's pretty exciting.
And this year, students added another tree, turning their words about the importance of trees into action, teaching the next generation about the need to protect trees. For Coastal Connections, I'm Elisa Weber.
Good Thursday morning, Delmarva. Beautiful conditions out there this morning as the sun is now beginning to rise on what will be a gorgeous day. Right now we're at 50 in Laurel, 48 in Redden, 50 Longneck, and we are at 57 there in Ocean City. Winds are pretty calm across the area this morning, and we are under the influence of high pressure, clear skies across the area. We have that high offshore, promoting that southwest wind flow that brought in the warmer air yesterday, and we're going to continue to see well above average temperatures today. We're going to be a good 10 to 12 degrees above where we should be for this time of year, and still right on average for our Friday, but we're going to see a backdoor cold front come in, keeping us a little cooler at the beaches. You see where we're at by around lunchtime. Temperatures are well in the lower to mid 70s, a little cooler as we see more of an onshore breeze there along the coast. By the afternoon, making a run at 80 degrees across Georgetown, Seaford, as long down to Salisbury. Overnight, we dip back in the lower 50s under partly cloudy skies. Highs today, 80 Georgetown, 77 Dover, 75 in Georgetown, 75 in Lewis, 78 in Cambridge. A beautiful day indeed. 80 Salisbury to 77 in Berlin. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. We dip to 52 in Georgetown, 54 Easton, 54 in Nanacoke. The rain chances really begin to ramp up this weekend, Saturday night, and then we kick off really an unsettled stretch of weather as we go into early next week. As we go into Friday afternoon, notice we're in the 70s across Salisbury, Delmarva, portions of the mid-shore, but only in the 50s at the coast with that east wind. Can run a spotty shower as we go into Friday evening. Everybody is not going to see the rain, but then we're looking pretty dry, at least to start the weekend, as clouds begin to increase. Note the temperatures over the weekend. In the 50s. We're really going to struggle to get out of the 50s with that east to northeast wind. Now, Saturday, the latest trends have trended a little drier for most of the day. I think the rain doesn't arrive until after dinner time Saturday, and we're looking at steadier rain primarily overnight in through early Sunday morning, looking at upwards of about a ½ inch of rain from this system as this area of low pressure passes offshore. We are going to be windy into Sunday with some gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour. So the temperatures are going to be below average for the weekend, and we're going to hang out right in the lower 60s into early next week with another chance of rain coming in Tuesday through Wednesday.
Thank you, Chris. In Worcester County, a proposed plan to slow down drivers on Gunpoint Road near Berlin, it's facing the potential of getting canceled. People who supported it say the safety concerns are not going away. Pilot program was set to add speed bumps to the residential road, but Commissioner Ted Elder described overwhelming opposition from neighbors over concerns like emergency vehicle delays and issues for boat trailers.
Going forward, I think maybe more outreach to the people in that area to really get a good feel of which side of any issue that they'll be on.
And while the county's proposed fix may not come to fruition, the people who live along Gunpoint Road that we spoke to say the debate over how to slow drivers down is not over.
And up next on Coast TV News today, coffee on demand, when you can begin to schedule your coffee orders ahead of time. We'll be right back. Okay. And Starbucks making it easier to get your daily cup of joe. Beginning on May 11th, customers using the mobile app will be able to schedule their order to an hour before pickup. The company says that the scheduling ordering option was popular at busy coffee shops, and Starbucks says that the 5-minute pickup times will reflect real-time availability at each store. 2026 NFL Draft kicks off today in Pittsburgh, and a new tradition is on the horizon. The Heinz Company will award a lifetime supply of ketchup to the number 57 overall draft pick, and the company paying homage to its hometown of Pittsburgh by introducing Mr. 57. The lucky player will get a custom Mr. 57 jacket, free ketchup for life. How awesome is that? And the chance to be a partner in future promotions.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. All eyes on the NFL Draft, and our Delmarva Sports Network team is watching the Eagles like a hawk. No pun intended there. Tonight, Kayla Santiago will be live during the Coast TV News at 11 with up-to-the-minute draft results. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is directing millions more dollars towards cleaning up the Chesapeake Bay. Officials are announcing a $39.5 million funding award for states in the Chesapeake Bay watershed agreement. The agency says it's putting money into hands-on restoration projects. Projects include stream and wetland restoration, stormwater upgrades, tree planting, and improvements to wastewater systems. The Fenwick Island Environmental Committee is hosting a Bay to beach cleanup. It is April 25th, starting at 8:30 a.m. People will meet at Town Hall for refreshments, supplies, and they'll get their cleanup assignments. Before the work starts, organizers are hosting a raffle as a thank you to the volunteers.
Couldn't ask for a better start to our Thursday morning as the sun is rising on what will be a fantastic day on Delmarva. Live look into Lewis, 50 degrees, and we're going to see plenty of sunshine through the afternoon through Ocean City. We're up to 60 by noon, 65 into Fenwick Island. Highs there are going to generally be in the mid-60s, a little warmer through Lewis and Rehoboth as we make a run at the lower 70s. Wall-to-wall sunshine through the afternoon. Cambridge, highs approaching 80 degrees by the afternoon, and then in Crisfield, wall-to-wall sunshine with highs in the lower 70s. Just a beautiful day all around on the peninsula. Congratulations to Eric Smith of Seaford, Delaware on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. We will talk about unsettled weather as we roll into the weekend coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. And coming up after the break on Coast TV News Today, redistricting debate, the backlash to a referendum in Virginia, and how the issue could be escalated to the highest level.
Also, what to expect at Springfest, the amenities to enjoy at the annual gathering that is kicking off today.
And beach driving demo, how people can learn the basics of beach driving. Coast TV News Today continues after the break.
Now on Coast TV News.
Osprey Hotel. Well, that's what they're calling it in Dewey Beach. How a nest is affecting the construction of the new town hall.
Sand driving basics. We have the skills necessary for your trip to one of our coast drive-on beaches.
Plus, surf fishing skills, how you can learn about one of the favorite pastimes at the beach.
The pick of the week is here, tracking wall-to-wall sunshine as we make a run at 80 degrees today.
This is Coast TV News Today.
April 23rd, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Thursday.
And we're closing in on 6:33 this Thursday morning. You heard it from Chris just moments ago. Pick of the week. Great weather day for the first day of Springfest in Ocean City.
If I had to put money on it, I'd say it would be a beautiful day for it. I know, I am excited. I just heard about Springfest for the first time. You guys are hyping it up. And it sounds like even if you're not heading over there, it's a wonderful day to be outside, the state parks, the beach, everything that you would do on a beautiful spring day. Guess what? Chris is giving it to us today.
All right, let's get right now to First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. He's in the Weather Center. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. And yeah, we are kicking things off in a big way this morning with plenty of sunshine. We have clear skies out there. Not going to need the frost. You're not going to need the defrosters this morning like we had earlier on in the week. 52 right now in Laurel. We're down to 48 in Millsboro, 49 Milton, and 47 in Harrington. We have wind flow out of the northwest, but relatively calm winds throughout the Delmarva Peninsula as we are under the influence of high pressure just offshore. Now we're going to continue to see plenty of sunshine through the day today as we make a run at 80 degrees this afternoon. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. 67 to near the lower 70s by midday, and then through the afternoon we get up into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees under sunny skies. We'll talk about rain chances over the weekend, and then next week trending a bit unsettled as well. We do need the rain. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Chris. As we just heard, there's nice weather here. It's not so much of a nice situation right now in Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp issued a state of emergency due to the Pineland Road fire. Since the fire began last weekend, more than 29,000 acres are scorched in Georgia.
John Lawrence shows us how the severe drought is impacting the blaze.
We tried to save your house. We couldn't do nothing. It was too late, man.
A pair of wildfires causing havoc in South Georgia near the Florida border.
Within 5 minutes, it went from smoke to a fire. So just understand, this thing is a very dynamic situation that's changing in a matter of moments if the wind kicks in a certain way.
The Pineland Road fire and the Highway 82 fire seen here have scorched thousands of acres and destroyed dozens of structures, including homes.
We're pulling in resources from the state of Georgia for long-term recovery group support so that we're able to start working through the issues for those that have lost everything.
Smoke from the wildfires is affecting air quality hundreds of miles away in Atlanta, and the blazes have led the Georgia Forestry Commission to issue its first ever mandatory burn ban in state history.
life safety and taking care of the social fabric for those that have been impacted by this fire is a huge priority for this county.
That includes Twin Rivers Baptist Church in Brantley County, which handed out meals to area residents in need.
I just felt like we needed to do something. That's what our community does. Like, we give back, we help each other.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
New this morning, with summer right around the corner, that means people will soon drive on permanent beaches.
Yeah, but before you take your vehicle on the sand, got a couple things to tell you about. And to do that, we're going to go live right now to Elisa Weber. She's at the Indian River Life Saving Station. That's where there is a beach driving safety course. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yes, in just a couple of hours, state employees are going to be hosting a beach driving clinic to make sure that everyone is safe this summer season. And at that clinic, attendees are going to learn park rules as well as licensing requirements. Participants will then follow staff out onto the beach to practice driving on the sand, but attendees must have a valid surf tag and necessary equipment to do so. That event begins this morning at 9 o'clock right here at the Indian River Life Saving Station. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa. Now some things to know. Tomorrow, April 24th, Delaware Seashore State Park hosting a hands-on surf fishing program. That one will give people a chance to learn the basics, and according to organizers, the 3-hour session covers everything from fish identification to proper casting techniques. Rods, reels, and bait are all going to be provided. It's taking place at the Indian River Life Saving Station Museum. Registration is $25. As organizers say, the program is open to people 12 years old and older, but those under 16 must be with an adult.
This construction crane in Dewey Beach, it was supposed to move out for another project, but ospreys built a nest on top of it. And the company building Dewey's new town hall is not moving the crane with that nest still on it. The construction company rented another crane that cost them around $15,000. Construction workers tell us they are calling the nest the Osprey Hotel, and we're told after the birds migrate away, that is when the crane will be moved.
Like we mentioned earlier, the annual Springfest in Ocean City back to celebrate the 35th anniversary. That event will kick off today and last until the 26th at the Inlet Lot. At the Inlet Lot. Now, the free 4-day festival will run from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's going to have a mix of art, food, and live entertainment. As organizers say, the event will feature more than 200 artists and crafters, a wide variety of specialty vendors, plus 4 days of live music across 2 stages.
New overnight, we are learning of 2 separate bills introduced in the Delaware General Assembly on Wednesday that affect 2 southern Sussex County towns. House Bill 376, that adds a property tax cap of 3% of the total assessed value in Millville. And then House Bill 377 states that a person seeking nomination to the Ocean View Town Council has 45 days to file as opposed to the current 30 days. Both bills are getting reviewed in the House Administration Committee.
Keeping crime in check in Milton. That's what the Police Accountability Committee will be set to discuss and could vote on at their meeting tonight. On the agenda, a presentation for the Crime Watch platform, also committee member training. All this taking place at 5 p.m. at the Grace Church on Union Street.
There's an update to a story that we were talking about yesterday. A Virginia Circuit Court judge has ruled Tuesday's redistricting referendum unconstitutional. This ruling came less than 24 hours after we learned voters approved a new congressional map. The change would likely give Democrats control of 10 of the 11 congressional districts. The judge's ruling now blocks certification of the results. Attorney General Jay Jones says his office will immediately file an appeal. However, time is ticking with the midterms just months away. And this just in, a marathon session in the Senate. It wrapped up a few hours ago this morning where, on a mostly partisan vote, they approved a sweeping budget resolution to fund immigration and customs enforcement and parts of Customs and Border Protection for more than 3 years. This effort was pushed through the budget reconciliation process, allowing Republicans to bypass Democratic opposition and pass the measure with a simple majority. Overnight, senators withstood a lengthy process that allowed unlimited amendments and triggered back-to-back votes.
And after extending the ceasefire, the White House says there is no timeline on how long this truce will last. President Trump says he's happy to keep up economic pressure through the blockade on Iranian ports. Central Command says U.S. forces have turned around all 31 ships that are mostly oil tankers, costing the regime an estimated $435 million a day. Iran calls the blockade a breach of the ceasefire and says there will be no deal until it ends.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, adding aid for teachers, the help coming to Wacomico County schools.
Also, Maryland Eastern Shore earns conference awards. We have 3 of the awards going to members of the men's volleyball team, plus a Flyers playoff update. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Good Thursday morning. We're inching ever so closer to that weekend as we take a live look into Salisbury. Beautiful conditions out there this morning. We're at 52. Dew point 50. We're holding at 53 in Cambridge, 60. Smith Island, we're at 54 in Snow Hill, and the cooler spots further to the north across Kent County in the mid 40s. Clear skies and calm winds this morning greeting us, and we are going to see quite a warm up through the afternoon. We begin in the lower 50s. By the afternoon, we make a run at 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies, and that is going to be very nice to enjoy after we had highs earlier this week only in the mid to upper 50s. You can get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert Weather phone, sponsored by Broxton Mandalas Federico. I will talk about cooler temperatures and rain chances over the weekend coming up in that full forecast.
Thank you, Chris. Now, the Cambridge Farmers Market kicking off its season today with an afternoon of food, music, and local vendors. Opening day runs from 3 to 6 p.m., featuring a ribbon cutting with the Dorchester Chamber of Commerce. Shoppers can enjoy live music and fresh seafood, along with a variety of local goods. Organizers say the first 25 visitors to the Cambridge Main Street tent will receive a $5 voucher to spend at any of those market vendors, but it must be used today.
Across Delmarva, we have a rabies advisory notice to tell you about. The Worcester County Health Department says a rabid raccoon was found in the vicinity of Oak Hall Road in Pocomoke, and the health department there reminds you to report sick animals immediately.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
Well, there were no growing pains for UMES. The Hawks landed 3 players on the All-NEC teams, plus one of them got an extra award. Freshman middle Chase Valentine is the NEC Rookie of the Year. He led the league in blocks and hitting percentage and actually finished top 10 in the country in both of those stats. That helped Valentine to not just a Rookie of the Year award, but also a spot on the All-Conference first team. Then on the second team, there's 2 more Hawks, Andre Mills and Kenyon Haynes. UMES begins postseason play with an NEC semifinals matchup against FDU tomorrow night. And in playoff hockey, the Flyers beat the Penguins 5-2 last night to take a 3-0 lead in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Philadelphia will go for the sweep on Saturday night, and if it wins, it would be the first time the Flyers have swept a team in a playoff series since 1995. History is on the line this weekend, and there's nothing better than chances like that. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7, we have live Carolina League baseball when the Shorebirds continue their series against the Wilson Warbirds. And then you can catch the final score at 10:30 on DSN Plus. 3:45 p.m. Conrad takes on Mount Pleasant and Boys Lacrosse. At 4:15 we have high school baseball when Sussex Tech visits Indian River and Sussex Central hosts Delmarva Christian.
And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a good Thursday so far here along coastal Delmarva. If you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, here's what's coming your way. The lineup for Country Calling has been announced. We've got everything you need to know about this awesome event that comes our way. Also, if you like pastries and you like poetry and you like giving back to prostate cancer research, well, we've got the perfect event for you coming up. All of that and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Well, we are feeling good on this Thursday morning, going with the extra large iced coffee today, but a beautiful day indeed, 80 degrees. It's going to be a nice one. Will it carry over into the weekend this warmth? I'll have the answer coming up next. Well, temperatures are beginning in the 50s this morning, and it is an absolutely gorgeous start to the day. You see that sunshine, nice and bright here in Lewis as it's rising across the area. 50 degrees right now in Lewis, and temperatures right now 48 in Milton, 49 in Milford, 52 in Seaford this morning. And we have clear skies, high pressure offshore, keeping us nice and dry across much of the east. And yeah, we do need the rain, and we're going to get a little bit over the weekend. As we go into the afternoon, we have plenty of sunshine with temperatures near 80. Now, we'll be a little cooler as we go into Thursday, as we go into Friday, excuse me, with a backdoor cold front pushing through, especially at the beaches with more of an east wind. But by this afternoon, look at the temperatures rising to 72 by noon, 74 into Salisbury. By the late part of the afternoon, we're approaching near 80 for many areas west of Coastal Highway, especially along the 13 corridor, but a little cooler at the beaches with temperatures generally in the 60s. Overnight will remain partly cloudy as we dip back into the lower 50s. Now, temperatures today rising to 75 in Lewis, 80 in Georgetown as we make our way along the mid-shore, 80 Vienna, 78 in Cambridge. We'll see winds out of the north-northwest gusting at 20 at times, 80 in Salisbury this afternoon. As we go into the overnight, partly cloudy skies, we'll dip to 53 in Harrington, 52 in Long Neck. There's those rain chances, expecting some widespread rain to roll in Saturday night, and then we'll continue to see scattered rain chances as we go into early next week. As we go into tomorrow afternoon, notice the east wind keeping temperatures in the 50s, a mix of sun and clouds. It's going to be milder the further away you are from the coast as we go into Friday. Can't run a spot shower as we go into Friday evening, but we are going to begin Saturday on the dry side, but it ends on the wet side. Now, we have a lot of clouds in place Saturday. Temperatures are going to generally be in the 50s, but I think some portions of the peninsula southwest areas could sneak into the upper 60s to near 70 if we do get some breaks in the clouds, but most of the area is going to be socked in the clouds and the east wind, and then that rain will roll in as we go into Sunday morning. Early Sunday morning, we're expecting about a half an inch of rain from this system, but temperatures are going to struggle to get above the 60-degree mark through the weekend, and then we're going to hold in the lower to mid 60s through early next week.
Thank you, Chris. Now, in your educational news, classroom coaches could be on the way to elementary schools on Maryland's Eastern Shore. State officials say it's hiring 61 instructional coaches to support teachers and help schools meet math and literacy goals. One factor in the state's decision-making process will be the performance of multilingual learners. Wacomico County's Haitian community says the addition of a coach would help support the county's growing Haitian population. According to officials, the initiative is costing the state $14.2 million. And the time is now 6:53 a.m. Matt Pensick, we're checking in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day will get to enjoy her favorite pastime because on your screen we are showing you Abby. Abby is a solid black long coat German Shepherd and loves to sit and play in her backyard any chance she gets. And today we could see those perfect conditions for rolling in the grass.
We were commenting earlier, sorry, excuse me, Matt, I just interrupted you. We were commenting earlier on how beautiful Abby is.
Posing there.
Yes.
Great picture.
That is a photogenic and beautiful.
What did we say? That's a
good-looking dog. That's a good-looking dog. And we
right.
want to see more of your good-looking dogs on Delmarva. If you want to send us a photo, just like Dawn from Lewis did of Abby. If you want to take a look at your screen now.
Yep, scan that QR code, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. And we have one final check with First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono on a fantastic morning, Chris, to be a Flyers fan.
Oh, yes, we are basking in glory, and we're all going to be basking in sunshine. Today, we are waking up to some temperatures in the 50s, on our way to highs around 80. Upper 60s at the coast, and we're going to be generally in the upper 70s along the mid-shore. Still on the mild side, but a little cooler as we go into Friday. We'll have more of an east wind, so it is going to be cooler at the beaches. Can't rule out an isolated shower Friday evening, but a better chance of rain comes in Saturday night through early Sunday morning, and temperatures are going to struggle to get out of the 50s with really a steady east wind, and then we settle into a rather unsettled weather pattern next week. We need the rain, and you could see multiple opportunities of rain Tuesday to Wednesday and Thursday through Friday.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
Hey, Grace.
What?
For even more news and coverage, you can count on download our Coast TV News
app.
and weather apps.
Yay!
Have a great Thursday morning, everybody.